Good morning, Betting Nation. It is Monday. This is the first Monday review. Now, this is a very, very special podcast. We are reviewing the previous weekend's action. Let's get this done. Let's do it. What was that all about in the introduction? I have no idea, Betting Nation. Do you know what I tried to do? I thought, let's try something different. And then when I was doing it, I thought, well, why try something different? You always say, let's do this. And I thought, yeah, good point. Let's just say, let's do this as well in the end. So as you can see, this is not rehearsed. And if it was rehearsed, it's rehearsed very, very poorly. I just press record and I go. I just let my mouth talk. Anyway, Betting Nation, this is a very, very new podcast. But firstly, Betfair haven't actually asked me to do this, but let's mention Betfair because they are this sponsor of the podcast. Very, very proud to mention that. So this podcast, Betting Nation, is brought to you by Betfair Betting Exchange. Join thousands of other punters trading in play like you. Wow. I love it. I absolutely love saying it because, do you know what? It just symbolises to me how well this podcast has done. I mean, not to blow my own trumpet. Do you know what? Sometimes, blow your own trumpet. Do you know, if you've done a good job, tell the world. Betting Nation, I'm really, really proud of it. When I first started this podcast, I was so nervous pressing that goddamn record button. It took me forever and ever and ever to do. But Betting Nation, it was worth every single ounce of fear that I had. I had a lot of fear. I mean, it just symbolises, it's like I say, in the other Motivational Monday, I mentioned how much Betfair are giving me for this, and it's not the money. It just symbolises that I've actually achieved something. I've achieved doing a podcast. I mean, I never ever thought that I would get the listeners that we're getting. Betting Nation, you guys rock. We had the biggest amount of downloads ever for the last football preview. It was out Thursday, I believe. Thursday, we had the biggest and most amount of downloads of any other preview podcast I have ever done. So thank you so much. And luckily, we had a pretty decent day as well. Anyway, so let's talk about this show. This podcast, this preview, I'm just trying something new. I love talking about football, as you guys know. And I thought, well, why not just do a 10-minute roundup? Literally spend less than a minute on every game and tell you the expected goals. Simple as that. And give you some thoughts and feelings, maybe if I have any strong ones. So I thought, let's do it. Let's try it. It's going to be a very, very small podcast, a very, very little in length podcast, but hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And if you do, let me know. If you don't, please tell me as well. If it's not your bag, then let me know, and I won't do them. Okay, so we started on Friday with Man United versus Leicester. Oh boy! And if anybody's seen my picture, I was watching the match on my iPad in this idyllic place in Derbyshire overlooking the countryside. It was amazing. I was outside, I was watching it. Anyway, so Man United expected goals was 1.5, Leicester were 1.74. So Leicester actually won on the expected goals. I was very, very impressed by Leicester. Man United, they played alright in patches, let's be honest, they played alright, but it's the same old, isn't it? They scored the early goal. Probably was a penalty. We did an in-play, did a trade on this game. We traded the unders, which was an absolute bloody howling mistake once it giving away the penalty, which cost us. I lost about 88 quid on it. But it doesn't. It is neither here nor there. It's a losing trade, unfortunately. And so Man United, it was okay. Didn't strike me as anything that. I don't know. They're not title winners. They're not title contenders, I don't believe. But I don't believe that many of us thought there was at the start of the season. So, Man United won that game 2-1. Leicester can count themselves a little bit unlucky. Okay, on to Saturday. Saturday's live game was Newcastle versus Tottenham. Newcastle actually lost 1-2. 2-1 to Tottenham. Newcastle expected goals was 1.07 and Tottenham's was 2.11. So expected goals actually had Spurs winning and they won. So thoroughly deserved by Spurs. Again, glimpses of what Spurs can do. However, for me, there was a little bit open at the back. I'm thinking about one chance in particular when the attack down for Tottenham left-hand side, or the Newcastle left-hand side, so it was their right back. They didn't look quite ready, didn't Spurs? But they still won, still got a job done. Newcastle, again, more questions than answers, I suppose, again. Joselu up front scored a good goal. I know my friend actually put on, he's a Newcastle fan, and he said Joselu can't trap a brick. I thought that was really, really interesting. So yeah, again, interesting match. The next one was Watford versus Brighton. Watford actually scored 2 goals and Brighton scored 0 goals. On expected goals, Watford had 1.4 and Brighton 0.47. Now, I was really, really impressed with Watford and how they played. For me, that was a big positive. Brighton, not so much. Next game, Huddersfield versus Chelsea. Our biggest bet of the weekend. We actually suggested 4 points on the Asian handicap minus a goal for Chelsea. On the expected goals, Huddersfield had 0.4 and Chelsea were 2.33. So thoroughly deserved victory there by Chelsea. Again, Huddersfield scoring was the problem before and it looks to be the problem again. So that has to be a concern. And we had all the stats to back up why we was backing Chelsea on the Asian handicap, and everything what we thought, all our ideas before that, all the stats were backed up again. Fulham versus Crystal Palace. Fulham actually lost this game 2-0. Crystal Palace obviously won the game 2-0. On the expected goals, it was very, very close. Fulham 0.84, Crystal Palace 0.94. Now, I was quite impressed with the way Fulham played. I thought they did very, very well. They controlled the ball, controlled the tempo, especially in the early parts of the game. Too much to read into anything else other than that. So Bournemouth versus Cardiff. Bournemouth 2.41 on expected goals and Cardiff got 0.87 on expected goals. And it went true to form. Bournemouth won 2-0. They were my lay of the weekend because Betfair have asked me to do a lay of the weekend. I'm putting £50 personally on each of these lays. So I suppose you could say it's a 1 point lay. And yeah, we lost there. I lost something like 45 quid because there was odds on. Now, Cardiff didn't really impress me that much at all. Bournemouth played very, very well. Were strong in areas where you expect them to be strong. I just don't know if it's Bournemouth looking good or if Cardiff are particularly bad this season. I would probably say it's Cardiff looking particularly bad. But I'll keep an open mind on that to see a couple of other games. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Everton 2-2. A cracking game. I tell you what, won't we unlucky on this one? Expected goals had Wolverhampton Wanderers 0.88 and they had Everton at 0.71. The reason why I think we was unlucky on this, because we actually tipped Everton. We had a 2 points, around about 5-2, 3.45 on the exchanges, and Everton took the lead twice. Everton took the lead twice, and yeah, it got pulled back. Obviously, a red card. Was it a red card? I love it on Match of the Day. Righty and Shearer having an argument. I'm with Righty. If that's a red card, yes, I know if you slow it down, if you slow it down, yes, it looks like not a horrific tackle, but it looks like he's out of control. But every tackle, surely there's a point where you can pause it and it looks a bad tackle. Surely you can make a tackle look whatever you want it to look like. So for me, it wasn't a red card. It was probably a yellow card. When I first saw the tackle, I thought, good tackle, get stuck in there. And I thought, what? He's been brought back and he's a red card? Anyway, I suppose it's the way football's going now, and Shearer kept on going on about the rules of the game. Look, if it's a red card according to the rules of the game, it doesn't really matter if you think it is or not, because according to the rules of the game, it is a red card. It's the rules you've got a problem with, not the actual sending off. Anyway, I thought that was a fascinating debate. Sunday, Southampton versus Burnley. Wasn't interested in this game in the slightest. Southampton were 0.77 on expected goals. Burnley were 1.4. It ended up being a 0-0 draw. Burnley played very, very well. Impressed me. Again, is it Southampton being very, very poor, or is it Burnley being a good side? Again, I am going probably to the Southampton being a poor side. Liverpool versus West Ham. Listen to this on the way back home from Blackpool. Liverpool were 3.88 on expected goals and West Ham were 0.4. It was 4-0 to Liverpool and it was thoroughly deserved. My God, it could have been more. They look a really, really good side and exciting team as well. West Ham, on the other hand, look to have massive amount of problems, and it's been highlighted as well. The high line they play on the edge of a box by Gary Neville. I thought, was it Jimmy Carragher? It might have been one of the two anyway. I thought that was a fascinating debate again, and it's something that we need to look out for. So Liverpool look like absolutely the real deal this season, and I can't wait to see more of them because it's thoroughly, thoroughly exciting. Arsenal versus Man City. Arsenal got 0.45 on the expected goals, and Man City got 2.02. Man City won the game 2-0, so it went according to expected goals. For me, I wasn't massively impressed with City. I thought there was a bit rusty, to be perfectly honest. I wasn't impressed with Arsenal either. I thought City controlled the game, never looked in real doubt, but I don't think it was a really stunning performance by City. First game, so again, I'm not going to read too much into that. And they did beat Arsenal away from home, which ultimately has to be a good result. At the back, City didn't look great. Left back position, again, question marks about Mendy. He didn't play great, did he? But he hadn't played a lot of football, so again, I don't know. I was so impressed with Mendy at the start of last season. So impressed with him. I thought he was an absolute brilliant player. But he was giving the balls away, passing. He was making bad tackles. It wasn't really a performance that stands out, and that could be an issue. But again, I don't want to be too judgmental early doors because it's his first game of the season. He hasn't played a lot of football, so let's just not make any conclusions or rush to any conclusions with that one. So Betting Nation. That was a football. That was a football in 10 minutes. I've been pretty fast here because I have to go. Betting Nation, thank you so much for listening to this. Let me know if you like it or not. I love football. I love talking about it. I love speaking about it. I love everything about it. I love gambling on it. I love betting on it. I love trading on it. Betting Nation, have an awesome Monday. We will speak again on Thursday when I will be doing the preview to this weekend's Premier League action. Thank you so much for joining me. I am DMB and I am signing off.